Additional questions other than yourself who'd be involved. What's the date you'd like results in place? That could be a question that might turn things around. I had people that I met when I used to sell franchises. I thought they wanted to buy a business today, but I asked that question and they'd say, oh, I don't know, in the next year or two. Well, that's a very different time frame than, I need to get out of my job and get going with this business. What's the process you follow to make a decision? Tell me about that process. Now, you guys haven't heard me talk too much about clinchers, but a clincher is something where if you might typically get what I call ambushed, a clincher is a way to address a potential ambush. It's like talking about the elephant in the room before they leave the room. Okay. So a clincher question would be, just out of curiosity, Greg, the last time your company made a decision to bring in an expert in business development to talk to the firm, how did that go? Now he could say, well, they wrote a check and did it. It took, 5 minutes. Or he could say they interviewed 10 people. It took 6 months. And then they decided not to do anything after all. Well, it's a very different answer. Okay. In the time that you've been here, has a decision ever been made at one level and then been shot down by someone higher up? Similar question to what we asked earlier that Greg was asking about. Okay. Techniques when being blocked. So this is now the situation where you're not getting access to the GC. You're not getting access to the CEO. It's not happening. Okay. They're blocking you for a reason, and now you need to address it. It's not the best situation. So find out how that decision maker has made decisions in the past. That might give, so let's say, for example, that it's not about a fancy proposal. It's going to be more about how you structure your rates in a way that's going to be paid out over time versus paid up more upfront. That might be what you need to make your proposal about. You're listening to what that underling said as a way to make adjustments. Okay, coach your contact to present your message in a different way or the way you want it proposed. So instead of them just going in with the rates and the pricing in the solution, you might actually coach them to talk about the pain points you uncovered, talk them through all the reasons why this needs to change, and then give them the numbers as a way to back it up. It's not great, guys. Again, you're losing. That's that grapevine game. You're basically in it now. So let's say you're dealing with a decision maker. That's like going to Vegas and playing blackjack and knowing that you're counting cards you can win 80% of the time. Now you're going to Vegas like me, not counting cards, not knowing enough about blackjack other than to just basically win 45% of the time. Now you're dealing with those kinds of odds. They're much, much worse. Okay. So coach your contact to present. Ask if you think there'd be any objections that the decision maker might have. Okay, deal with what do we do if there's a stall? What happens if this gets dragged out? Okay, so here's an opportunity to ask the underling questions that might help improve how you move this forward, understanding it's not a great situation.